So
there's actually another game that got a trailer this week that looks pretty shit. The Outlaws trailer. Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. They,
man, what they did.
Let's talk about
that
for a second.
What they did
Solo.
that chick, yeah. But the chick that they used as the model for the character, is so hot in comparison to the Manjaw and everything that they gave the character. It's just it blows my mind.
Yeah, did you guys see that thing that Grummz posted about that guy? I don't remember his name, but his username was Iron Stylus.
Oh my God!
He lost his shit on me.
Savvy, talk about that.
Shit.
Yeah, that was nuts, dude.
God.
I mean, I did a whole video about that too. It's crazy.
So he put out a whole long thread for the people who don't know about how hard it is for 3D artists to work lighting and softer faces from
which is such bullshit.
Exactly, it's such bullshit. But at the end of it, somebody said, "Well, Eastern Studios don't have an issue with this." And he said, "Oh yeah, sure. You want to get into the hypersexualized, fetishized plastic reduction of women or whatever? We have to find the actual tweet." But so he basically insulted all of Eastern Studios, and so Mutahar put out a tweet talking like, "Hey, like Kojima actually does like a really good job with this," and I posted his own words under Muta's tweet. And he lost his fucking shit. He starts going, "What's a creative specialist?" And then he starts posting my own art and he goes, "Oh, whatever the fuck this is or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, this is lesser. Oh, you don't even know how to do anatomy." And like he starts trying to go off on me. And I'm like, bro, all I did was post your own words. What's up with this?
He's in our Discord. He's in our
Discord.
Though.
Like,
trying to get personal.
He was complaining that like Western studios apparently can't do women, but then it's like, you can't say that because you look at Star Wars Outlaws, look at the main girl. I don't remember the actor's name, but look at Cameron Monaghan. He's the main character, Cal Kestis, in the Jedi Fallen Order games. That's also a Western studio.
Perfect.
Looks exactly like him.
Perfect.
Looks just like him.
Yep.
So there's no excuse. And exactly like you said with Kojima, like even back in Metal Gear Solid 4 days, which was like 2007, 8, I don't remember, somewhere around there, when he had the Beauty and the Beast corpse in that game, he took like 4 real life supermodels. And he like directly translated their faces directly into the game on a PS3, and it looked like they look just like the women do.
Yeah,
so
that guy
even with the argument that they make, they don't seem to have this problem with the male characters. They always look like their actor every time.
The other important thing to note too that he said, he actually stated in there, "Oh, I had to make changes to Fiona, I think. Fiora. Sorry, I don't like League anymore. I was a filthy horseman. Anyway, so he said, "Oh yeah, I got so pissed off because they wanted us to make changes and make her more attractive, which I argued against." And I'm like, why would you include this in this thread? One, it's irrelevant. Two, what?
Yeah.
This is what you do when you work at a studio. You pay attention to what your boss wants because it's not your fucking IP, dude. If this isn't what you want, exactly.
This is what I've been saying a lot.
Attractive.
Yeah, this is what I've been saying a lot. Is that sorry, go ahead. Okay, right. So I was just saying, oh my God. You go first, Ryan, and I'll go second. Go. I
was just gonna say the people that are higher up, that are working on Outlaws, right? They're the ones that are allowing that to happen. They're not sitting there going, "Hang on a second, you developers down there, where you can't do that." They're okay with what they're doing with it.
Look, I talked to a couple of Ubisoft people, including artists, and while they're not on the Star Wars project, which is at Massive Entertainment, which is an Ubisoft satellite studio, what they tell me is that basically the art, and this is an artist, they just make these changes because this is the sort of mantra. It's like, we must change the characters to be more realistic. It's just the right thing to do. It's it's just this pervading attitude. It's the right thing to do. We mustn't, if the actress that we're scanning is beautiful, if the actor is beautiful, we mustn't, take that at face value. We must alter the character. So this is happily deliberately.
They've made it look less realistic though, by doing what they've done.
They basically said my body type is offensive and it doesn't exist. That's what what they're doing.
Women don't have jaws like that character. Like she's got the sunken jaw.
Yep.
And shit. That's fucking a man's jaw.
She looks like an alien human.
Some
hybrid.
women do, but that's like one out of a million.
She looks like a
there's not many.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why it leads to the conversation.
Why are they trying so hard to champion ugly people, though? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to inspire ugly people to be better looking. You know, that's the way it should be. You don't
was this thing that thing that leaked a while back. I did a video I think like a month and a half ago or something, where there was some anonymous Naughty Dog artist that apparently was talking about the reason why characters are not made to look the way they're supposed to. Allegedly, according to that ex Naughty Dog artist, who's again anonymous, so take it as you will, they said the reason why it's done is because they want to appease trans people, basically. So if the character is too feminine, then the trans women players will be like, oh well, that I don't look like that, and then
because they want to pass.
If you're a trans man,
listen,
right?
Man, listen, I on Twitter I praise the character of Vasquez from Aliens. And I've been having trannies come after me all week. I kid you not. It's heading. Like they've been attacked. They're attacking now. It's been going on for 72 hours. Like these, no offense to trans people or whatever the fuck, but I'm just saying it's a reality. Like they are really trying to cater to these people in a major way, and they will get violent if you don't.
Yeah,
and this
the Outlaws character looks like Matt Damon from Team America.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, did you see what happened to Sony? So they posted "Happy birthday to our beautiful Aloy," and they're hiding. If you go to that tweet,
they're hiding.
I retweeted it and said, and I laughed because if you look at the hidden replies, they're hiding everybody, making fun of it, and a lot of them are comparing. One of them had that chick turning into the Nick Avocado guy, the fat guy.
Nick Avocado.
And it's pretty spot on, I gotta say.
It is.
It's so I can't unsee it.
No, me either. Me either.
But that's the thing I was saying is if you wanted to if you're basically doing this to appease trans players, I feel like what they're doing is not only failing the trans players, but it's also failing the male players and the female ones too, by kind of reducing what they should get to just make the trans people happy.
I'll tell you right now, it's so offensive to women, especially the little changes that they're making with the Pokemon Go models. I know I've talked about it before, but when you remove the hips, we fucking see it. And it's why are we offensive? I am not a shapely woman. And I will absolutely go off because I should not be more feminine than the fucking characters that I want to play as.
They do the same thing with Mary Jane in the Spider-Man movie. They do it with every female character. In more recent times, it's getting worse and worse and worse. But
that game's a good example because they say, "Oh, the technology is better." Spider-Man 1 isn't that far off. In fact, they even remastered it. And the Mary Jane in that one, her face totally different this time. Peter Parker's is just about the same though as it was on PS4, and for some reason, just Mary Jane's face now is changed. It's a blatant lie. They're doing it intentionally.
Oh, it's absolutely
and coincidentally, when Mary Jane looks great. That game came out in 2018. That was the same year Sweet Baby was founded, so they didn't have enough time to actually influence it. And then you look at the game that they had a lot of influence on, which is Spider-Man 2, and Mary Jane just gets completely fucked over. And that's happening across the board.
She got psoriasis and shit.
It's deliberate. I have sources that tell me that it's done deliberately because it's the right thing to do. You cannot have beautiful women in games.
And they don't get why
beautiful women in the world.
They were
women in the world. Yeah, go ahead.
These people have no imagination.
The thing with MJ is her being beautiful is like a part of her character.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that funny. Look how they the people that were criticizing people that were pointing that out, oh, you just want to jack off to her. That's always the thing. Sorry that you can't jack off to it.
Well, it's the same thing with Rogue, though. From the X-Men stuff, and they're just the whole one of her biggest character elements is the fact that she's a fucking sexy woman and she can't have that human contact, but yet they then make her look completely different. They get rid of her curves. They do all of that stuff. The thing that doesn't make sense to me, and I mentioned this last night on one of my full Aussie streams, but I don't understand why they would go out of their way to pay a actress or somebody to model the character off of to then completely change it. Why wouldn't that cost more money then to do that? Wouldn't it be better to just CGI and build the character from nothing if they're going to completely change it? Wouldn't that actually be cheaper than having to pay the actress and then change it?
It would be a lot less work. Yeah, it'd actually be cheaper. Doing a scan session, a full scan session, you have to pay the actor, you have to pay for the scanning rental studio if you don't have your own, and you have to pay a fleet of artists to go over it afterwards, because the data that comes out of that scan is pretty much unusable until it's massaged by a team of artists. And so, yeah, it is more expensive to do it that way. And if you're going to go ahead and you want a character that way, you should just do it from scratch.
Yep.
They just hate the fact that humanity depends upon men's arousal. You know what I mean?
But it's not even that. No, it is not even that. It
women's arousal too, though, Mark. Like, think about the male characters.
Women want to look at hot chicks too.
Hot chicks and hot dudes. Like, but I'm just saying the other way around.
Yeah, I'm just saying the basic rule of life, right, is that men and women, we get together to continue life. That's the way it is. It's like a lot of these LGBT, they have a major problem with that. You know, they like to think that they're natural, but there's nothing more natural than the attraction between a man and a woman, because that's what keeps the human race going at the end of the day. All the freaky shit aside.
That's why the LGBTQs have to go after everyone, because they can't reproduce, so they've got to recruit. That's how it works.
Oh, you just want to see a character that gets your dick hard, they say. I've had them come after me in the comment section. I'm like, yeah.
And I hate that stuff too, because all they do is talk about naughty stuff. Like the Michael guy. He's all like, oh, Eastern Studios fetishize everything. Bitch, you're out here saying you suck dick to keep your fucking job.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why
that's what he actually said.
Say that? He literally says that constantly. He posted a fucking picture of trans-colored underwear saying, I'm wearing this underwear to the convention. Nobody gives a fuck what your underwear is. Nobody cares that you suck dick to keep your job. Let people make beautiful art. And by the way, not safe for work artists are not fucking porn addicts, because if you were constantly masturbating to your fucking art, you'd never get anything done. Most of the time,
buy off your own supply.
Savvy, did you catch the tweet where he basically outs himself as a trans fetishist?
He did,
So he says Judy changed his life. The character he made in Cyberpunk he made a his ideal female character, put some junk on her, and that saved his life. I mean, that's what he wants. And
that's weird too.
Trans women would call him a chaser. That's what they call him.
If that's what you want, that's fine. But if you want to succeed in games, if you want to actually appeal to the mass market that you need to capture for these giant budgets, give the gamers what they want.
Yeah,
give the women what they want. Stop taking the makeup off women. Women want to wear makeup.
Yes,
build a good game with a good story and good characters. A bit like what they did from Last of Us 1 compared to Last of Us 2. It's, everybody loved the character of Joel. Everybody loved the character of Ellie. It had a good story. It had great gameplay. People enjoyed that first game. I never played it, but I've just gone off what I've heard everybody talking about. And then they come out with the second one and they completely destroy people's love of even the first game because of what they did, retroactively destroying basically the IP, the entire game.
That's a big problem with a lot of things these days. A lot of things these days retroactively ruin things before it. It's happening too much.
Yep.
I hate that.
It's not enough to create. It's not enough to create. They have to destroy, and that is a Marxist.
Because they can't create. Actually. They just can't. They don't know how to go tell their own stories, and it's easier than ever nowadays to tell your own stories. Like my biggest thing, I want everyone to create their own stories, their own characters. You want to make a gay game? Go for it. I would probably love it if the gameplay is fun, because I like drawing Yaoi and Yuri. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Nobody's saying don't go make gay shit. It's fucking great. What we're saying is stop changing shit. Stop going to these companies saying, oh, ESG money, we're going to go ahead and ooh-woo the shit out of it.
They want to be mainstream. They want to be the default. That's why I was saying you can never be
You can't fight
man
biology.
and woman. That was my point. You know what I mean? That's the problem that they're always going to have because they can't accept that fact.
Savvy, the problem is with what you said about making like like gay characters in a game, like create your own thing, is that the problem that they would find with that is that the entire character development and motivation of the character that they create in that would only be the fact that they're gay. There's nothing that they don't actually bring any motivations or a story to the character.
They don't understand.
That's
flaws.
Right. They become Mary Sue.
That's the problem.
Or Gary
The fact is that most characters are just, they think it's just the identity is enough. I'll give you some good examples of great gay characters. Actually, one, Dion from Final Fantasy 16, great gay character, amazing. He's the freaking icon of Bahamut. He turned to a giant dragon. He's gay. So what? He's an amazing character.
And he has flaws.
Another one that's really great is Dorian from Dragon Age Inquisition. Whoever's played that. He's a super gay guy. He has a big mustache. He's a mage. He's great. He's gay. So what? His character's amazing. You know what I mean? And that's the problem is that the characters aren't good. They're just like, he's gay. That should be good enough. It's not good enough.
Yeah, that's supposed to be like the defining characteristic. That's not what people like.